Today we're discussing how to be a healthy vegan. Hello and welcome back to VEGGIEMAGNIFIQUE, your go-to for holistic wellness and a healthy vegan lifestyle. So maybe you think that if you're vegan, you're automatically healthy. And though if you are vegan, you are avoiding some of the products that are the most detrimental to your health, like meat, dairy, and eggs. But there's also a lot of vegan junk food out there and ways of doing it that aren't necessarily optimal. So just really quickly, now this may seem primordial, but why do we want to be healthy? So some people go vegan completely for ethical reasons, right? Only for the animals. And to this I say, thank you for saving the animals with your choices. That is wonderful. But chew on this. Even if preventing disease and living longer isn't important to you, for some reason, there are other benefits to being a healthy vegan. First off, if you're passionate about saving animals, it's really important to be a spokesperson for veganism. And the way that you do that is by being, in my opinion, a beacon of health. So today I'll be discussing both food and non-food topics when it comes to being healthy. So first up, let's talk food. My first tip is to eat a variety of plant foods. So sure, you could maybe survive on eating a bunch of white pasta and marinara as a vegan, but we want to thrive. We want to be healthy. And one key to do this is to eat a variety of plant foods. So like eat the rainbow, right? So in order to do this well, I highly recommend that you print out the Power Plate from PCRM, and that has all the categories, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, and then that can be like a reminder on the fridge to eat all those different plant foods as much as possible, and then of course to think about all the different colors. That's something that we talk about with my son, right? If he's just like, I want to eat tortilla for my meal, and it's like, also we're going to eat other foods besides just white tortilla or brown tortilla. We're going to eat blueberries, we're going to eat red cabbage. So colors can be helpful to remind us that in order to be a healthy vegan, we want to eat a variety of plant foods. And sort of on that note, my next tip is to shy away from extreme vegan diets. So I would wager that one of the reasons we see all these like ex-vegans is because they went down the path of a very extreme vegan diet instead of eating all the components. I remember the Power Plate we were talking about, right? They were probably not eating all the components of the Power Plate, you know, beans, whole grains, fruits and vegetables. So you're probably not going to thrive if you just eat bananas or if you are only juicing without being medically supervised. It's just a lot harder to get all the nutrients that your body needs if you're following an extreme version of veganism instead of looking at all the whole food groups, right? Beans, legumes, whole grains, fruits and vegetables. So next up comes as no surprise, and that is to avoid processed foods. So whether you're vegan or not, you probably want to avoid processed foods, right? We know that they're not that good for us because they're processed. But what does that even mean? So processed foods are foods that have been altered in some way during preparation. So that could be pre-processed foods, you know, chips, crackers. Now there are more minimally processed foods such as pasta and cereals, which can totally be a part of a healthy diet. But there's like a big difference between eating a donut and like a low-fat bean burger or soy yogurt or something. Now, just really quickly, regarding processing, it's important to note that oils are also processed. So olive oil, for example, comes from squeezing the oil out of olives instead of just eating the olive. You see what I'm saying? So one rule of thumb with processed foods is to just look at the ingredient list, and generally speaking, you want to stay under 5 if possible. And of course, when it comes to being healthy, now, if you want to be super healthy, just totally avoid processed foods, you know? And maybe you can have some pasta or cereal, but like all the rest of it, you just totally avoid, whether that's crackers, which are not that harmful, but it depends on your goals, right? So if you're seeking to reverse disease, you want your diet to be like spotless. But if you're just seeking to be a healthier version, a healthier vegan, right? Just keep that in mind. No one's saying never eat crackers, you know? Okay, so now that we've discussed some of the main pillars of the food side of things, it's pretty uncomplicated. Let's talk about the non-food side, because health is a holistic game, isn't it? Chances are you might be interested in holistic health if you're here. And you also might be interested in remote learning. If this is the case, then I really highly recommend you check out IAN. So IAN is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and this is where I studied to become an integrative nutrition health coach. I highly recommend this program because I loved it and because it was so integral in the creation of VEGGIEMAGNIFIQUE. So it's awesome. I would love to talk to you more about it. If you're interested, you can check the link in the description box, which leads you to a sample curriculum and a sample class so that you can see if it's like the shoe that fits for you. Of course, if you have any further questions about it, you can send me a DM on Instagram and we can chat. First up, when it comes to the non-food, is socially. Don't be afraid to tell your family and friends that you are vegan. If you are the only vegan in your friends and family group, you might be in hiding. Now, only you can understand the intricate dynamics of your friend and family group, but most of the time, as long as we're kind and non-judgy about it, our friends and family are usually more understanding than we think they're going to be. I mean, it could just feel so good and healthy to come out and say, hey, I've been eating vegan or plant-based for the past, 6 months or year, and I've just been feeling so much better. And when you're feeling better, the people that love you are going to be so happy to hear that. Remember that real friends are going to accept you for who you are. On that note, when it comes to being a healthy vegan, oh man, does it help? Does it ever help to find vegan friends? People that you can speak to about this lifestyle. Finding others that live and eat the way you do is super helpful and fun. So one great way to meet other vegans is of course at festivals or vegan meetups or groups, vegan cafes. You can network. But of course, if you're having a hard time meeting other vegan friends, you can also look virtually. There's a lot of online groups, vegan Facebook groups. There's all sorts of different ways that you can virtually meet people. And even sometimes you can meet people virtually that actually live nearby you. And when you're able to be part of a group that, chooses health and compassion, it's just really good for your soul. It's good for your mental health. So try to connect with people either in person or on the internet. Okay, and my last tip, which is maybe a little bit controversial, but if you're vegan, don't be the vegan police. If you're vegan, please don't go bullying other people for not being vegan enough. Now, this may go without saying, but there are some holier than thou vegans out there, and they don't they give veganism a bad rap, let's just say, because when you have compassion for animals, right? You're eating differently, you're living differently. It's kind of like, okay, can you extend that compassion to other people who are striving to be as vegan as possible? And, they're making steps, and people who are, say, I don't know, plant-based, who aren't entirely vegan, but they're on the road and they're working toward it. I just think that that's a plus. I just think that we need to inspire other people to continue to eat and live with compassion. And the vegan police, they're just not helping. Because here's the thing. Anytime anyone is making an effort to consume fewer animal products and eat more veggily, this is wonderful. This is progress. And it's kind of like, let he who is without fault cast the first stone. In this crooked world, it's actually pretty impossible to be 100% vegan. Maybe you use a razor with a moisture strip, which apparently is not vegan because it's often glycerin made from animal fat. Or maybe you have a TV or a tablet that uses animal cholesterol in its screen, right? It's everywhere. It's so frustrating, but it's everywhere. So just as a note, remember that veganism isn't about being perfect, because that's just unattainable. Perfectionism to the wind. Try to be as vegan as possible. Live as kindly as humanly possible. And I just don't think that being the vegan police is healthy for the policer or anyone else. As the Stoics say, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Because in the end, we only have control over ourselves. So there you have it, a few ways to be a healthy vegan in today's day and age. This is not an exhaustive list, so if you have some other tips to share, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd be thrilled to read them, as well as other viewers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to VEGGIEMAGNIFIQUE, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!